If we wanted to go from Lahore to the exact opposite point on Earth, we would need to travel about 20,000 kilometers across the surface. But if instead of traveling on the surface, we dug a straight hole from Lahore directly through the Earth to the other side and jumped into it, what would happen? If we somehow managed to dig such a hole, we would end up in the ocean in South America, with the nearest country being Chile, about 608 kilometers away. And if we dug a straight hole from Argentina, it would come out in China. Scientists divide the Earth, below the surface, into three main layers: mantle, outer core, inner core. No human has ever gone beyond these three layers. If we started drilling straight down from the Earth's surface, at about 1.5 to 3.5 kilometers deep, we would encounter devil worms, the only animals known to live at such depths, discovered by humans in 2011. Going deeper, after 3,600 meters, the temperature would begin to rise. At 4,000 meters below the surface, the temperature reaches around 60 degrees Celsius, and to drill further, we would need to use ice to cool the environment. At 8,800 meters deep, the hole would be as deep as Mount Everest is tall. Interestingly, humans have already gone deeper than that with the Kola Super Deep Borehole, where scientists drilled down 12,260 meters. At that depth, the temperature exceeds 180 degrees Celsius and the pressure is 4,000 times higher than sea level pressure. If you reach that point, you would need to insulate the hole extremely well to keep the heat out, otherwise, you and your equipment would melt. If you managed to drill down to 40,000 meters, you would reach the start of the Earth's second layer, the mantle. Here, temperatures approach 1,000 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt iron and silver, but not steel, since steel melts at above 1,370 degrees Celsius. So with a steel drill, you could bore through the upper mantle, which is made of rock, and continue going down. At 100,000 meters, your steel drill would melt, and you'd need a new metal that could withstand even higher temperatures. At 150,000 meters, you'd hit the jackpot: diamonds. The extreme pressure and heat here transform carbon atoms into diamonds. At this depth, almost everything iron, rock, would be molten, like volcanic lava. If you kept going, at 410,000 meters, the lava would end, and solid rock would appear again. The temperature here would still be extremely high, but the enormous pressure would keep the rocks solid, preventing them from melting. At 3 million meters deep, you would reach the Earth's third layer, the outer core, made of molten iron and nickel, with temperatures of 5,000 to 6,000 degrees Celsius, as hot as the sun's surface. This layer is critical because it generates Earth's magnetic fields, which extend into space and protect our planet from solar winds. Here you'd face two major problems. 1. You'd need a super material that can withstand over 6,000 degrees Celsius, which doesn't exist yet. 2. Gravity would be much weaker, and you'd need a super submarine capable of surviving extreme pressure and heat to keep drilling. At about 5 million meters deep, you'd reach the inner core, made of solid iron. Here, gravity would be zero, making drilling even harder. If you still managed to succeed, at 6.4 million meters deep, you would reach the exact center of the Earth. From there, to go further, you'd actually have to climb upward toward the opposite side. If you did make it through, there would be a hole straight through the Earth, and you could travel from Argentina to China in just about 1 hour by simply jumping into one side of the hole and being carried through to the other side. Of course, you'd need many other things for such a jump, like a spacesuit that could withstand the pressure. No human has ever done this, and in the near future, it still seems impossible. But one thing cannot be denied. God has given humans a brilliant mind. And with such a mind, nothing is truly impossible.